Welcome to the show. I'm Chris.
And I'm Dave.
And let's look under the dial.
Amazing.
I know, right? Second episode. We've survived to live another day.
Episode The Deuce.
Episode
The Deuce. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. This is, of course, the Australian video series where all we talk about is the greatest game on Earth, Heroclix.
Claxton.
Actually, wasn't this a Magic the Gathering video?
No.
Oh, wait. I'm on the wrong one.
Yeah.
Crap.
Whoops.
Anyway, this week we have news, we have newbie stuff, and we have mailbag. So, let's crack on.
Let's do it.
Alright, so, first bit of news, which may not be so much newsy by the time this reaches your faces, but it's news for us this morning as we're recording. Thor Ragnarok, the blockbuster movie sequel to the first two Thor movies, which will rake in millions of dollars.
Hopefully.
It's coming out in November, and WizKids have got an associated Clix set coming out. And as part of that announcement, we have two preview images of pieces from that set that are both commons.
It's a gravity feed.
It is a gravity
It
feed.
should be 24 pieces.
Yes.
Usually
and
24.
apparently the distribution within the gravity feed has changed because I know there were some problems with getting some of the commons in things like Wonder Woman recently.
Yeah, right. I didn't open much of the Wonder Woman myself, so...
Yeah, apparently finding the Amazonians was a bit of a pain because they were really good as commons. Apparently that balance has been redressed, so you can expect lots of good pieces in this feed. For our two previews,
Yeah.
they're pretty awesome. So we have Thor, first of all. He has Asgardian, Avengers, and Warrior as his keywords. I gotta say, for 75 points and the numbers we're looking at, that's a really solid dial.
It's not bad.
It's not bad at
blades
all.
on every click.
Blades on every click and starting at 11, never dipping below 10. 3 clicks of move and attack, invulnerable, indom, and a wonderful little trait which pairs well with the other preview we've got. So this is allies in a gladiatorial arena. You get knockback on your attack, and for a free action, make a close attack, but only to target an opposing character that was already knocked back at least one square by another friendly character this turn. So...
I mean,
I reckon that's pretty sound for 75 points.
It's not bad.
No.
I'm worried that you may spend half your time trying to line them up correctly just to get that to go.
Possibly. If you were using it with someone who just had like Force Blast or Super Strength, that might be an issue.
Yeah.
But the other piece we've got sort of pairs well with that.
I mean, the attack itself, right? Make an attack only to target an opposing character that was already knocked back. Yeah, it seems like it might be too tricky to get off.
Possibly.
That's my worry with pieces like that. Sometimes I'm like,
It could be, and if it's something like a really open map, so thinking about the prestige maps that are out now, things like the convention floor the top of the building might be a bit harder, but things like the office block where everything's close quarters.
Yeah,
could
you
be
got more of a
easier
chance there for sure.
Yeah, but for 75 you could do a lot worse, and that model looks sick.
It does.
I love it. Then we've got his partner in crime, good old Hulk.
H-Man.
The H-Man. He is Avengers, Brute, Monster, and Warrior. He's got the same trait as Thor. So, can we just get out of the way the fact that this is just like Drax in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 feed? This is a 75-point figure with Invincible for 3 clicks.
Unbelievable.
With sidestep and with
close combat expert.
Magnifique.
That's real good.
Magnifique.
It's real good.
Love
Again,
it.
the trait is probably, for me, I don't know. It seems like it might be too tricky to pull that off. But if you got the both of them and you do get to do it, awesome. Even better. It does make a whole lot of more attacks and a whole lot more damage. And yeah, same thing. I mean, with that model, with Hulk, you're sitting at, potentially 12 attack with 3 damage.
It's not bad at all, is it? And in terms of if you want to get back and move away from a figure afterwards, if you just moved in one turn, second turn attack, and then sidestep away, can get you out of a jam.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just 9 movement, which is always nice to have.
And I should mention, both of these figures are indomitable, which
that
also makes the point value a whole different kind of level of amazing. So
it reminds me of, in the Guardians 2 feed, the Gamora and the Mantis.
Yes.
That really didn't have any kind of... I think Mantis had a trait, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But they were just solid combat values, indom, and low point cost. Like Mantis was 55 points, Gamora was like 65 or 70. And they were just solid. They were just really good all-rounder attackers. Nothing special ability-wise, but just, dependable.
Solid pieces. Yeah.
Solid pieces. And especially for Hulk with 4 keywords, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, and their keywords are fairly generic enough. At least they're both got some good ones in there.
Like Avengers.
Avengers
is the best one
which,
there.
I mean, yeah, your team ability got a little bit kicked in the balls.
Let's not talk about that. But yeah, some good pieces, and there will undoubtedly be a few more that are revealed. We don't have a release date yet, but I would assume it would come out around the same time as the movie. So
it's usually at least in the month around it.
Yeah, so probably November, maybe late October, but we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, definitely.
On the subject of release dates.
Yes. There's been a small update, and you may be watching this and already know this and laughing at the screen, but potentially Thor is coming on the 19th of September.
To Australia.
I'm sorry. Yeah, correct. I should mention that.
Because they're already enjoying it.
Everybody else is having the greatest time of their lives, and we're sitting here twiddling our thumbs, waiting. So potentially the 19th of September, which is really good news, means that we can kick off some awesome events and see some of these awesome colossals for ourselves. My shelf is going to be too full. I don't know.
The shelf is already too full.
I know, but it's going to be even fuller. But I think that could be really good for us. We wouldn't be so far behind, because the last time we spoke about this was the 30th of October, which is just a huge wait behind everybody else. So hopefully that holds up.
And hopefully that update also applies to the Undead set, maybe.
Yes, I actually didn't take a look at that, but yes, hopefully it does, because the Undead set is looking pretty good, and Swarm tactics are going to be a thing with that Undead set.
God help us all.
Yeah.
Last bit of news, some welcome news for people who might be looking at trying out the game, is that Sidekick Nights finally coming to Australia.
I'm going to kick them to the side.
Took us long enough. So for those who don't know, Sidekick Night is this thing WizKids do. I think they do it for every game.
So it's Dice Masters Attack
Wing and
Clix.
And for Clix, it essentially means if you're a new player, you come to your friendly local game store. We'll have a set of basic figures to give to new players. So for Heroclix, there's a Captain America, an Iron Man, and a Thor. They're all fairly standard.
Yeah.
Nothing terribly amazing. The sculpts look really cool, though.
Yeah, they are awesome.
And you, along with an experienced player, learn to play the game. So you combine the new player combines their figures with the experienced player, and you play against another team with an experienced player and their sidekick, and you learn the rules of the game with a new set of figures. It's a great way of doing it, and the figures themselves, I think, for new players are really awesome, because the Thor, I think, is 150, the Iron Man's 100, the Cap is 50 points, so it's a 300-point team straight out of the box. Like I said, great sculpts, solid numbers all around, and who doesn't love Avengers?
I mean,
at the moment. I do, but I'm a bit biased.
You can't get around it, I think, really is the point. But Sidekick Nights are good, and they're really good for getting, obviously, new people into the game, which I think is the whole point.
Absolutely.
They're kind of structured a little bit that you should be playing the game with the sidekick, or at least making it available to them enough so that you can answer questions, you can be helping them with advice, blah, blah, blah. Things like that. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, me too.
We're definitely going to be running something similar. And it's something that we've tried to do a couple times already in the past.
And it's kind of worked. We've gotten some new people involved. We've got some stuff here at the Nerd Cave that we hand out to new players and get them involved. And
that's it. I think it's a good system.
It's a very good system. Yeah, I'm just glad Australia is finally getting it.
Yeah. A little bit late, but it's okay. Everything's always late in Australia.
We'll get there in the end.
That's our news section. But we're on to our new section. I mean, new because it's the first time we've done it.
Yeah. Well, that's new.
I suppose.
New, right? Yeah.
But it's newbie play stuff. I don't know what's called yet. We haven't come up with a name, a funky name for it yet. But there will be one. Don't you worry.
Newbie notes.
That's good.
Newbie notes.
Yeah, newbie notes. That's not bad. I'm going to rewind. No. Basically, we're just going to talk about a couple things that we've seen, a couple pieces that we like for new players, and a couple videos that we've seen that might help new players learn the game a bit more.
Sounds good. What have you got first?
I have the turtles. And these are specifically the turtles from the starter set, which was the Mouse of Mayhem starter set. Each one of them is 75 points. That makes 300 points together, which is nice. And none of them have any abilities outside of standard abilities. They have one trait, and it's just toughness, which makes it very, very easy to use. So you always negate one damage unless it's penetrating. All their abilities are fairly straightforward, and they're quite thematic to the turtles themselves. So, very, very easy pieces. The stats are not amazing, but they're okay.
Yeah.
They're okay to start with.
For a
Yeah.
starter set, I think you're definitely doing well.
Exactly right, and I think that you end up with some pieces that can be mixed with some other turtles if you end up going down that route, which I know I did.
You really went down that route hard.
I did.
Because they've all got the TMNT keyword, they've
Correct.
all got the animal keyword.
And that mixes with a whole bunch of different things depending on what you've got.
Exactly.
And a couple of them, then celebrity, scientist, soldier, warrior. So you can mix it up a little bit too with a couple of the models. Yeah, they're really great pieces and they're really awesome sculpts, I think.
They are pretty fantastic. I love the what's this one? This is Raph.
Raph.
I love the Raph with the side. He's just like, I'm gonna stab you a little bit. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
If you ran into this turtle in a dark alley, you'd be like, yep, I'd be a bit afraid.
He's the one you don't want to see.
Yeah.
And what about you, Chris? What do you got?
What have I got? I've got 2 pieces from the recent Elseworlds set. So they're both commons. Quite likely to find them in your boosters. One of them is Diana Prince, the Justice Rider. She's the cowgirl, cowboy, Western themed Wonder Woman.
Yep.
Great big hat.
Sheriff?
The sheriff of the Elseworlds. And this common Flash, who is literally just there to run in and punch people. There's nothing else that he does.
Yeah.
So for Diana Prince, solid dial. She starts on running shot, toughness, and she's got a special damage power, which makes her be able to use leadership, which is always nice. And with a unique modifier, when she does use leadership and succeeds, other friendly characters that share a keyword with her modify their attack and defense values by +1 until your next turn. So she doesn't have much in the way of keywords. She's Justice League, Past, and Police. Past, though, I've found in the last few sets, it's kind of coming back.
Yeah, there's quite a few pieces from Past. Sets old and new, in fact. So it's not that hard a keyword to mix in with other stuff. No,
and I mean, there's a fair amount of Police in some areas as well, and Justice League is, of course, one of the greatest keywords ever. So if
I mean, that's getting warmer.
It is getting warmer, yeah, just a little bit. She's also got the High Noon trait that pairs well with that. So if Diana Prince, Justice Rider, is the last character with this trait to hit an opposing character with a range attack, until your next turn, if the hit character makes a range attack, Diana Prince must be one of its targets.
I really, really like those.
I really love the High Noon stuff, and I think hers is sort of built around that, especially later on in her dial when she gets range combat expert and sidestep.
Yeah.
So you could very easily and energy shield.
And
just shoot someone,
sidestep out,
step behind a building, and it's like, you can't hit me. Sucks to be you.
Yeah, I really liked. I think just as a quick note there, that Kid Flash.
Yeah,
he was the best one because hypersonic, and then you can't shoot anybody is the best.
Yeah. All those Justice Riders are great, but I love Diana Prince. She's 70 points, solid piece, 4 damage on the first clicks, always lovely.
Yeah.
Could do things with that. The Flash, on the other hand, literally just has hypersonic speed, and that's it. No other numbers, no other abilities, no other great numbers. 14 speed, 10 attack, 19 defense, 3 damage.
That is the definition of new player friendly. Exactly. If you can describe the one ability, then that's what they do.
Yeah, he just runs in and he just punches you and runs away again.
And his stats aren't too bad, if I remember off the top of my head.
His stats are wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, 10 attack, 19 defense, even though he's got no ability, 19 defense is pretty good.
Absolutely.
Dale Suderman would like to have a word.
Dale Suderman wants to have a word? He can have a word. And it's just, I've found this in a ton of Elseworlds boosters, so it's just a really nice all-rounded piece. Great range of keywords, so Central City, Justice League, Police, Scientist, and Speedster.
That always helps.
Always helps there. And he pairs well with Diana Prince as well, so you could send him in to sort of soften up a target, maybe lower the defense a bit by punching them, have Diana shoot, activate the High Noon trait so they can't retaliate against the Flash.
Yeah.
It's just a nice little pairing. That's 115 points if you're going to go with like a Justice League or a Police team.
Yeah.
Options there, I reckon.
Not terrible. On the side of... I mean, it's not, right?
Damning with faint praise.
Yeah. On the side of new player stuff, we have starter sets, right? Let me get this in here a little bit. This is the 15th anniversary starter set from DC.
This came out around the same time as Elseworlds?
Yes, it's basically just the Justice League, which is nice. They're really, really good to get started with, for obvious reasons. The word starter set implies that it has tokens, it has a map, it has dice, it's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah, the one thing it doesn't have is the new rules.
Yeah.
Because it came out before they were released. So what you're going to want to do if you pick this set up is either also pick up the Thor set when it finally reaches our shores, because that'll have the new rules.
I'm sure you've already got it if you're in another country
you
and you're laughing
do,
at us, but yeah.
Or if you're in the future in Australia and it's already come in, so if you've gotten it, good work. The other thing you can do is the WizKids have put up a PDF, or a few PDFs I think, of abilities, rule books and so on. We'll have a link to all those in the description, and you can just sort of download that and use that until you can get a paper copy of the rules in your hand.
Yeah.
But everything else you could want there, like Dave said, map tokens, terrain markers, everything you need. The figures themselves are pretty good. They're very newbie friendly.
Yeah.
They're
basic.
They're quite basic, but not like sort of simplistic.
No.
Like they're sort of good all rounders. And one thing that's great about them is they've got variable point limits. So you can play each figure at either 100 or 50 points.
Yeah.
So you can mix and match. You know, if you're doing a 300 point team, you could do all 6 figures at 50, or you could do a couple of big hitters with a couple of small hitters. There's a lot of customization available in that set, I think.
And that's always a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's very good fun. So good stuff.
A quick note on a couple of videos that we saw, some mentions. Married with Clix is just started a video series called Learn to Play with Super Lex. Now I don't know who exactly is going to be excited about it. It's really just for a new player. So if you have somebody that you know wants to learn about the game but isn't sure how to go about it, or doesn't have enough time to come to a lot of games, that's a really good way to get started. And happy little Heroclix. He has been doing a video series, and he's been doing quite a few before, but more recently the Thor set. He does an unboxing where he also treats it as if he was at a sealed game, and he builds teams out of the models that he opens, which is also a really, really good and valuable thing to learn, because that is a way that a lot of games get played in stores. So sealed and draft and that kind of thing. So it's something valuable to look at, and definitely something that I would want to learn. And I would have wanted to have learned early on. So, yeah.
In the way back when we didn't know how to play.
Yeah, correct, yeah.
And we'll have links to those videos in the description as well. All the links go in the description.
That's it. Mailbag time.
Mailbag, what do we have this week?
Josh has asked us a question.
Hello, Josh.
Hey, Josh. What chase themes should I be looking for?
Ooh, good question.
Now, I think we can come at this from, since we've been very new player friendly focused this episode, we can come at it from that kind of angle.
Yeah.
And for us, we were talking about it a little bit before, and I think that anything that comes with a lot of keywords is always the best thing to do.
I would first say, first and foremost, with anything to do with Clix, if it's a theme you like just because you want to play it because it's fun or it's your favorite character, that overrides
for sure
a lot of other stuff.
100%.
But yeah, I reckon if you're going to come to it from casual or competitive, there's a lot you can pull out, because we've had a few good chase themes recently. I mean, we've had the Deadpool, obviously, themes in Deadpool and X-Force.
Yeah.
We've had the Venom folks in What If. We've had the Dark Knight Returns in Elseworlds. I don't know, what do you reckon?
I mean, the Dark Knight Returns ones are probably some of the ones that I would initially suggest, specifically because they fit in with a lot of different keywords.
They do,
it's the same thing I was just saying before. But, I mean, in terms of chase sets recently, the What If sets, the Venom ones, I think they're pretty cool. And that is, a different way to look at it. Like he was saying, something that you think is awesome. I think the Venom Hulk looks like a great model. Venom Punisher, he flies. I mean, it's just something different to look at. Yeah. It's a cool thing to see, and they have a couple different keywords which fit in. Like no, he didn't have Asgardian, did he?
No, he did. The Venom Thor.
Oh, he does.
He had Asgardian.
That's amazing. Like that fits in with so many great teams.
Especially with Thor coming out.
Yes, so and he is so great.
He is.
That Venom Thor. So, I mean, you just look at the sets, I suppose, and see things you like. Yeah. See some keywords that you maybe enjoy. But generally, if you're just aiming for some sets, I would aim for the ones that have the most keywords.
Yeah.
More likely to fit in with more people's teams. And then, whatever's online, what people reckon is going to be awesome to use.
Yeah. I think I'd kind of go actually with a chase set that isn't themed, and that's the ones from Avengers Defenders War. That had some of the best chases I've ever seen in the game.
Yeah.
Like the Hydra Captain America, the Samantha Wilson Captain America.
The Black Panther.
The Black
so
Panther,
underrated. So good.
The Hand Daredevil, Chair
Devil.
The Rachel Cole Alves, who teams up with Punisher. There's some solid chases in there.
Yeah.
Like I said, they're not themed, but they're just... I went to the Australian Nationals and just saw a bunch of those kind of pieces in people's teams.
Yeah.
Or the Hawkeye. I forgot the Hawkeye. How could I forget? The anti-Pog Hawkeye that comes in that set. It is one of the best pieces ever. It's
and now with no damage reduction modifier.
The possibilities. But yeah, it really depends what you're after. I think if you're, for my money, if you're going to go something more casual, the what if ones, as Dave said, are pretty fun.
Yeah.
If you're going to go competitive, ADW is really good. I think the Elseworlds chases, especially that Green Arrow, which is just going to be an all. You watch it with all the teams
it's going to be
forward.
Pretty bad.
And it is the premier call-in piece. I think once Nick Fury rotates out, it will be the only one worth having.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see with if there's new ID.
We'll see if there are new ID cards coming. But for competitive stuff like Elseworlds, I think is a good bet too. But first and foremost, whatever you think will be fun.
Yeah.
Because the game is about fun, right?
For sure.
I think it's fun.
Yeah. Me too.
We also have a question from Suzanne, who asks us what kind of formats or play formats are good for new players. So we've got a few. We've got Golden Age, which is anything goes. We've got Modern Age, which is your current sets that are in rotation. We've got things like limited formats, so sealed and drafts. I don't know, for new players, I think Golden's probably a good place to start, and then maybe seg into a draft or a seal to get them more pieces.
Yeah, I think Golden Age is very good because it generally means I can give you a bunch of models that I have to use. But the other one that I enjoy is stuff like those scenario packs. So like Dr. Manhattan, the Days of Future Past, Sentinel one, stuff like that, which we're sometimes playing together, which I guess is kind of in the spirit of those sidekick nights, right? So playing together against an enemy is a good way to learn. I really enjoyed the Dr. Manhattan one.
Yeah, that Dr. Manhattan one was full on.
Awesome.
I think Golden's good because what I find with new players is a lot of them have come with figures that they have been given by someone else, or they've found, or they've like gotten in an op shop or whatever. And a lot of the time they'll be Golden Age, so you can't play with them in a regular competition. But if you come, like the Nerd Cape does a lot of Golden Age stuff, and it means people can just bring any figure they want and go, let's play.
And the team building's a lot more fun because there's a wider variety, I suppose,
absolutely,
of options. So
and teaming newer figures with older ones that do weird things, and it's a lot of fun. I reckon. I think there's virtue in probably sealed overdraft for limited format. Just because you get more figures, there's less stress about picking a figure in a sealed if you're not aware of like what they do fully. You just sort of, like I found that when I first played, I played a draft and a sealed, and I found the sealed much less.
You're not worried about what everybody else is trying to tell you. You're not worried about what you may have picked the wrong thing, because sealed is like I just got what I got, so I got to work with that. So it's generally a lot more friendly.
That's what I
to
reckon.
start with.
Not to say that Modern as well. Like I know we talked a lot about Golden. Modern can be a lot of fun. And I definitely recommend that.
Just that's the competitive format.
So you got to come with objects. You got to come with relics. You got to come with ID cards, and it's
all the cheese.
All the cheese. So
prepare thy Angus.
Righto. So I think that's all we've got this week. So as always, links to everything we talk about will be in the description. We've got our email address, which is just underthedial@gmail.com. Pretty easy to remember. And until next time, I'm Chris.
And I'm Dave.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks. Finn.